Welcome to the Culination Island Creations Forge, and this one is about Project Dare. And what is Project Dare, for those who don't know? Some of you may. It's about making a cardboard suit and rifle that represent the future Marine equipment and attitude. So, where did I get this idea? Things like Halo, Aliens, the United States Marine Corps, and Avatar. And things that make me feel like, yeah! Anyways, I'm not here to show the already completed helmet, but I just have. I'm here to show you the rifle. Let's go. Colin! You copied the DMR from Halo! Yes, I did. I actually took like 80% of its DNA and put it into this rifle, but there are actually some things I added on my own that are not in a designated marksman rifle. So, let's get started with the first thing. I'm just going to go from front to back because I don't know what order to do. The barrel. I remember making this thing called the Card 15B, thinking that was the best barrel I've ever made, and I'm gonna hate having to make that again. Turns out, I felt like I was looking forward to making this one the better that it is than that one. This came out cleaner because I learned from the Card 15B. And yeah, as the name kind of implies, it's a cardboard AR-15. It has its own video. I just removed the scope in order to present the iron sights. If you line up the front and the back, you get aim without the scope. And this up here was made more simple and basic than the one I used for the Card 15B. I changed some things. It's fixed. It doesn't get removed. Not like the one for the Card 15B. Meaning I didn't have to have like this hanging penny system that held it in place, because it's already glued in place. And I think it does look better. That's the call I went with. This here is the top rail, and it is better than the one I made for the Card 15B. What I changed was I didn't use single strips of thick packaging cardboard. Instead, I used double layered thin cardboard in order to make these look neater. So there are no wavinesses in between the top of the barrel cover and the top of each, plank of the rail? Kind of like it's a railway. The old Transcontinental Railroad. The flashlight can be turned on with a button here. And it is removable using this strap here. Push this in, pull this back, and then a little bit of loosening, it can be pulled right out. But it cannot be if this whole thing is tightened, because I put a little piece here in order to be just enough to fasten it in when it is tightened all the way. Loosen it by even half an inch, and I think you can possibly pull this out. When I want to put it back in, I simply slide it back in and make sure the button is accessible with my left thumb. And I move this strap out of the way. Push that in, wait until it's past the loop, and it's back to how it was. And in addition to these side panels, what adds grip to underneath the flashlight are these fine lines here, 1/4 inch and quite a length. Overall, forward and backward grip is pretty secure. And now a full tour of the handle. There is a pretty good trigger here. The handle grip is sort of similar to what's around the flashlight, I decided to keep them unpainted, to have sort of a desert military color. Then there's the trigger guard, the hand guard, and this thing right here. I don't even know what it's called, but it adds some structural integrity to the whole rifle itself. And now I show you the scope. I start with opening this scope cap over here, and I've got to hold it open for a while because it gets used to being closed. That is one issue I have with this. And I may show you a rectified kind of scope. Okay, anyways, now I'll let this go and show what it's like to aim. It's like this. What I did was I aligned back crosshairs with a front red dot that was centered on the front soda plastic. Yep, cheap materials. But with cheap, I can make this look more realistic than the Card 15B short scope. Back then, I was playing with these very crude cylindrical knobs. These are shorter, wider cylinders with some ribbing. Now, I only used 4 pieces because I was worried that spray paint was going to cause them to flake off.
Please help me understand.
The properties of the spray paint are that if you spray paint cardboard, it's going to weaken the fibers. And I've learned through experience that light gluing just ceases to work after you spray paint. So I went with bigger pieces in order to make up for that property. It might not be as pretty as a finely ribbed knob, but it was guaranteed to work. And what's a cardboard precision rifle made to look like the designated marksman rifle from Halo Reach without its own cardboard ammo counter? That's not digital at all, but still, it adds an artistic touch.
Okay, I'm sorry, James Cameron, I didn't mean to copy Aliens.
The MPR-1's charging handle has a first for my channel. It moves the receiver. Keep an eye on this spot as I pull the handle. You saw? I got 3 more things, and then the whole rifle's presented. It says Marines on the butt of the rifle. It's kind of like reading the word Marines on the back of a UH-1 Bell helicopter, or on a Pelican dropship from Halo. In addition, there's our bullpup magazine. Put it right back in. .308 rounds. 20 of them. Inspired by the M14. Last, the caboose. The butt of the rifle. We have gone, people. And by the way, it's kind of a simplistic butt of the rifle. I have done more complex. I've also done more simple. Anyways, we have gone from the locomotive to the caboose when it comes to the MPR-1. I'm looking forward to showing you some future crafts, finishing the Dare 1 suit, the full Marine getup. Not just the helmet, body, and arms like I've done before. I am going all the way. That is my goal. I intend to show you legs, knees, feet. The age of thinking small for CNI Creations is over.